Is the Loch Ness Monster real or just a legend that refuses to die? In this episode of the English Right Now podcast, we dive into the mysterious waters of Loch Ness and talk about the Loch Ness Monster. You'll also learn at least 10 pieces of related vocabulary to this topic in this English learning podcast. I say at least 10 because it's a real conversation with my dear friend Rob, and anything can happen. Hello, Rob.
Hello there. I'm just trying my Scottish accent.
Beautiful. We've only alienated a small
Sorry.
part of the audience. No, I'm joking. Brilliant. How are you today?
Doing very well, thank you. I'm looking forward to travelling off to the Highlands of Scotland today.
Yes. And in kind of to pay homage to it, I've got a mug with some Highland cattle on it, just to kind of really, hammer home the point. We're going to Scotland. So, have you ever been to Loch Ness?
I have. I've cycled around Loch Ness, and it's a beautiful place. I mean, a loch, we must explain, is a lake, isn't it? Scottish word for lake, but it's a massive lake. I mean, we're talking miles and miles long, and very, very deep as well, and surrounded by mountains. It's a beautiful space, a beautiful place up there in the north of Scotland. Yeah,
we wouldn't use the word loch down in England, but it's a Scottish. Gaelic, I believe, but a Scottish Gaelic word for lake. And that's what Loch Ness is, as you say. It's vast, which means very, very big. And it's a deep, apparently freshwater lake located in the Scottish Highlands near the city of Inverness. I've never been.
You must go.
I must. I want to go and find Nessie. Have you seen Nessie?
Well, no, that was the disappointing thing. So I kept a lookout for Loch Ness, the monster, but sadly didn't see anything.
And that's the name we give it, isn't it? I just sport that, Nessie. We sometimes call the Loch Ness Monster Nessie. And apparently Loch Ness is the second largest loch in Scotland by surface area, but it is the deepest. And it goes 230 meters down. That's incredible.
It is very deep. And that's probably where the Loch Ness Monster lurks, hangs around on the bottom of that very deep lake, which is why it's never been seen, has it?
Or has it? But lurking is one of our key pieces of vocabulary. Hiding or waiting secretly, usually with a mysterious or even a negative tone. So you could say that guy is lurking outside. He's a bit scary. But also we say Nessie is lurking deep beneath the water. Yeah, never been officially captured on film. But there've been sort of photos and stories from over the years. This story is not a new story, though, is it?
Oh no, it's been around for ages, hasn't it? This Loch Ness Monster myth, maybe. I don't know if it's a myth or not. It could be real, could be made up.
Could be a myth. So mythical. Mythical is one of the key pieces of vocabulary. Existing only in stories or imagination, not real. Mythical. So we'd say maybe unicorns are mythical creatures. Sorry, everybody. Dragons, maybe Loch Ness is mythical, and myth is the story. But maybe, usually people call Nessie by female, don't they? They say she's real.
Yeah,
maybe she's real. I would like to think she's real. I really would. I like the idea that there is a monster in a lake.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah, me too. No, it'd be fantastic if it proved to be real. So all those cynical people who go, of course, there's not a monster there, will be proved wrong.
Yes. It would be lovely, wouldn't it? To actually get Nessie, to find out Nessie. Because some people think that Nessie might be a dinosaur that has survived somehow. I think it's a plesiosaur, some kind of aquatic dinosaur. That's the kind of theory, but there's lots of different theories as to what Nessie really is, if it's not a mythical creature. But long before these kind of modern Nessie stories, Scottish folklore was full of water spirits. So folklore is one of the key pieces of vocabulary. Folklore, the traditional stories, beliefs, and customs of a culture. So Scottish folklore was full of water spirits that we call kelpies. And kelpies are shape-shifting creatures that were said to appear as horses or humans and drag victims into the water. So this is possibly where the idea of Nessie came from, this idea of a kelpie. And apparently, the first written mention of a monster in Ness, in Loch Ness, dates back to 565 AD, 565 AD, nearly, well, 50, nearly 1,500 years ago, in the life of St. Columba, which was an early biography of an Irish monk.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So it's a story that's been around a long time, and it's amazing
Yeah.
it's lasted that long. Also, of course, it's amazing that Nessie has never actually been found in all that time.
Yeah.
But there have been sightings. You said there have been alleged sightings of the monster, hasn't there?
So sightings is one of the key pieces of vocabulary as well. And it is reports of seeing something unusual or rare. And there've been hundreds of Nessie sightings over the years. Some of them have been easily disproved as like a bit of wood or something like this. People get. I think part of it is because apparently it's such a magical place. Would you say how would you say the feeling is around Loch Ness?
Oh, there is a well, I say it's a beautiful location. There is that sort of mystery in the air. There's something because it's quite a hidden. I mean, you can see the legs; it's massive, but it's in these mountains and stuff. So it has that kind of mysterious air to it. And of course, lots of people, lots of tourists are there looking and wondering what's out in the water. So that adds to the kind of excitement that there could be something out there.
Yeah, and I think that is I think you've hit the nail on the head there because it is something wonderful that people really want to see something. They're desperate to see something. So anything could be Nessie, but nobody's got an actual photo. Up until now, Nessie has remained quite elusive. Elusive means difficult to find or capture. So Nessie's so elusive that nobody has ever proved that it exists. And we need to say that Nessie she's not proven by science. This is more myth and legend. Legend is a story, a traditional story passed through generations, and it often mixes fact and fiction. The legend of Robin Hood and the legend of this, legend of Nessie. And now you can't prove that Nessie is a actual scientific animal. And we call this type of animal a cryptid. A cryptid is a creature whose existence is suggested but not proven by science. Things like the Yeti and Bigfoot, these sort of things. So Nessie is one of those, and the study of that is called cryptozoology.
Okay,
There
interesting.
Yeah,
you can learn a bit more about this because there is a museum.
Really?
Where you can go and see. Well, yeah, explains all about the myth, the possible science of it, if there is any, and of course, lots of alleged photos of sightings. But it's usually just probably a bird on the water or something like, or a wave in the water, and people go, "Yeah, there's a photo of Loch Ness of the Loch Ness Monster." But yeah, there is a museum, so you can find out a bit more about the background to this myth, if it is a myth. If you go and visit Loch Ness,
With both of us are being very quite. We're both not sort of committing to an answer because neither of us really know. I think deep down, if I'm totally honest, I want it to be real.
Yeah.
I want not Loch Ness to be a real thing. I mean, it is a brilliant tourist trap. Let's be honest. A lot of tourists go there to look for the monster. They're going to pay a lot of money, so it's brilliant in terms of tourism for for Scotland. But also, joy.
I was going to say a cynic would say that this is just a story that's kept alive by the tourist board, the tourist organisation, just to get people to go and visit.
I think there's sometimes, if I'm totally honest, there's a joy in the unknown. And then when something gets, disproved, it gets, really understood. I feel sometimes there's a sadness to it. If we found out that Nessie was a big eel or a big fish, I think there'd be a bit of a, I like the mystery. I like that. And apparently, according to the original story back in 565 AD, St. Columba stopped a water beast from attacking a man by making the sign of a cross and commanding it to go back. And this is where the story came from. But realistically, the modern craze, the modern kind of excitement began around 1933. And it was a new road, which apparently you've cycled round, was built around the loch. and it gave people more access and visibility. So that's when the modern stories started. Apparently, in April 1933, there was a story of a massive animal crossing the road and disappearing into the water. And then the word monster appeared in print in the local paper for the first time. So potentially that story of St. Columba might have been forgotten, but then suddenly people look back into, oh my goodness, this isn't the first time it's been mentioned. But so apparently 1933, somebody saw a monster go across. Have you ever seen any evidence that makes you think definitely 100% real?
Oh no, not
No.
at all, Roy. No, no, really concrete evidence. Solid evidence that proves there's something there. But I remain, like you, open-minded.
Yeah.
Open to
Hopeful.
ideas, hopeful. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, quite often you get people saying that they've spotted it. I do think that more people are desperate to spot it. Spotted means seen, often briefly or unexpectedly. I think sometimes this idea of spotting Loch Ness is more out of desire than it is out of. But that's the thing as well. I'm not saying that they're making it up. It's not necessarily that they're making it up. It's more that they are so desperate to see it, their mind helps them to see something.
Yeah.
And there are some photos, but they tend to be quite enigmatic. Enigmatic means mysterious, difficult to understand or explain. There was a photograph. Do you remember the photograph with? There's a picture. There is a photograph of Nessie with her head out of the water. Have you seen it?
Yes, I have. Yeah, yeah.
And
And that kind of shape of the long body curving through the water. That's the kind of traditional, stereotypical kind of shape people think
yeah,
that Nessie is going to look like. The big head, long curved body, bits sticking out of the water.
yeah.
And yeah, there was a photograph. I had a kind of rough image of that.
Was it called? I think it was called the surgeon's photograph. I'm not sure.
Right.
And it apparently showed this long-necked creature coming out from the loch, but I may be mixing it. There's been a few photos like this, and a lot of times people thought this was real evidence, but it was revealed eventually to be a hoax. A hoax is a trick or fake story intended to deceive people. So some photos were later revealed to be hoaxes, and I think in the case of this one, it was like a model attached to either a kind of submersible thing or a piece of wood under the water, something like this. And the way one of the hoaxers was kind of caught out was to see that I think the it was clearly close to the shoreline because the way the waves were hitting the beach, it was clearly a lot smaller than they were making out.
Right.
But every now and then these photos come up. I haven't seen one in a while actually.
No, the myth is very quiet at the moment.
Yes.
But if you're going to be a believer, I suppose you could believe, because the lake is so deep and so big,
Yeah.
that the probability of Nessie surfacing and coming above the water, is quite rare.
Yeah.
Nessie could actually be living deep down in the middle of the lake, and a bit like a fish. It doesn't have to come up for air very often. So if we
Yeah.
believe that, it could be true.
It could be, and if it can indeed walk across land, as some people have said, and there's no reason it can't just disappear and migrate for a while somewhere on land, or I don't know. I mean, the myth is there, the story is there to be sort of thing. But despite all this kind of skepticism and people going no and cynicism, people have spent decades, and probably millions of pounds searching for proof. There's been some major expeditions to find Nessie. I think there was one a sonar. They use sonar where they do that, bloop, bloop, and it showed a large object moving below a boat, and that was in 1954, and that got people excited again. And even as late, I think 2003, the BBC carried out a huge search with, I think they used around 600 sonar beams, but they didn't find anything. They didn't find anything unusual.
Well, I'll tell you what. Why haven't they sent a submarine down there, one of those submersible things, and send it down there to have a look?
Would you want to go down there?
Well, no, I wouldn't go. I wouldn't go.
It's
I'll stay on the shore. Don't worry.
yeah, just in case. You wouldn't want to be the one that found out that Nessie was down there and very angry.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's been people doing underwater photography, and they capture like strange shapes. You can see it's all of these kind of photos that could be part of a fin, or it could be part of a body, but then it could also be a fish and or a duck. And these kind of people always kind of get there, and people debate these photos whether they're real or not. I
Yeah.
don't know about the submersible. I'm sure people have tried, but I think visibility is really quite bad down there.
Hmm.
It's very dark. It's very. It's got. I think there's a lot of mud and peat, which makes the water very dark. So I'm not sure if visibility would be good.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
every now and then they find like large objects because they can't be. I mean, if we're thinking realistically, there can't be one. There can't be one. Surely there'd be multiple because they'd need to. If it was an animal, they'd need to breed.
yes,
There'd
exactly.
need to be a
Yes.
breeding population,
Yes.
unless it is just.
The original Nessie would be dead by now, of course. Yeah. Yeah.
Mate, who knows?
Well,
Gosh, gosh, I'm gonna capture that on camera, put it out there.
the funny thing would be if Nessie is actually in another loch somewhere else.
Yeah,
Everyone's searching Nessie's sitting back thinking, "You're wasting your time. I'm in this loch, not
yeah.
Loch Ness."
Or maybe at some point Nessie was like, "These people keep coming into my lock, annoying me. Like, really, I'm off. I'm off." Because there's not just one lock, is there? Arguably Loch Ness is probably the most famous,
Mm,
but there are multiple lakes and what would be called locks in
mm,
Scotland. So yeah, but I think the thing we need to all say that Nessie isn't just a creature; she's a symbol. She's become a kind of Scottish icon, a
yeah,
Scottish icon. Sorry, Nessie's is part of Scotland's identity. You know, you can't really go too far without talking. Kilts, bagpipes, whiskey, Nessie.
yeah,
Nessie, if you're talking about Scottish tourism, you have to mention her.
yeah,
And she brings millions each year to the Highlands because the Highlands are beautiful. But I'm not sure as many people would go there if Nessie was that. A little bit like I think about in London in general. I'm not sure if we didn't have a living royal family. I don't think that would be as. That's just my
mm,
opinion.
yeah.
But it certainly brings tourism.
Yeah, no, Nessie is what we call a draw. It draws people up to Scotland to visit that part of the world. So it is good. It is good. Along with, as you say, kilts, bagpipes, and haggis. There's something
Haggis and
else.
whiskey, yeah.
That's sort of stereotypical Scottish iconic things,
Yeah. Shortbread as well is a very Scottish
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, tartan in general, the colours. Scotland is a wonderful, wonderful country to visit,
Mm,
and definitely Nessie should be on there. But there's always kind of a rumor every now and then. A rumor is a story or piece of information that might or might not be true, and it's always rumors of a strange creature or something going off. And I think that's the joy of Nessie. She keeps people alive. I mean, why do people still believe? I think humans are wired for pattern recognition. We see shapes and movements while there might not be anything.
mm.
And I think it is a bit of wishful thinking. But I'm part of that wishful thinking. But we talk about Nessie. Nessie isn't the only potentially mythical creature that exists in the UK. There are others. Can you think of any others? Got
Well, we
beast.
mentioned Robin Hood, didn't we? Who's a kind of
Yeah,
creature, not creature, human, human
human
person.
human potential myth. Yeah,
And,
well,
I was going to say King Arthur as well.
yeah.
Um,
These are popular myths. We could do mythical people another day. I was thinking as well about the Beast of Bodmin Moor.
oh yes, yeah.
The Beast of Bodmin. Bodmin's in Cornwall, isn't it? I think.
That's right. Yes,
Yeah,
yeah, and there's a big area of moorland, Bodmin Moor, of course,
yeah,
and yeah, apparently there's a beast out there. Some people again have supposedly taken real photographs of it. It's
yeah,
like a big cat or a panther or something like that. But
yeah. Yeah, a
hmm,
large cat-like creature
yeah,
seen across the moors. A Beast of Bodmin Moor. It's a great title, isn't it? And yeah, people have taken photos, and sometimes they turn out just to be a cat,
yeah,
which I always quite find. I find it quite joyful. But again, there's this idea of, is it possible? Could it be? And I don't think that's the only potential big cat sightings. There's always a big cat sighting. It seems to have disappeared of the last 10 years, but there was always something going, I think there's a big cat. I've seen a big cat. Always these kind of stories of big animals. I think in East Anglia, there's the Black Shook, which is a ghostly black dog with glowing eyes.
Okay.
And there's the Kelpie as well. And of course, the Welsh dragon.
Oh, yes, yeah.
The symbol of Wales.
Welsh dragon. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. But never actually been seen in real life.
No. None of them have been seen in terms of genuine evidence. And I find it even quite intriguing that we have a unicorn as the Scottish emblem. On the kind of the representative animal of Scotland is a unicorn.
Yeah.
Which is also technically a mythical creature. Slightly less mythical than a lion, but a lion also doesn't exist, and lions are the symbols of England. But,
yeah.
I mean, why do you think Nessie still matters? Other than the money.
The money, yeah. The money is probably the main reason. It's good for tourism. I don't know. It's just one of those British traditions that we like to cling on to, to, as you say, give us hope. Something that's a good story that we can talk about, and that, hopefully will be proved right one day. But it's just it's a bit of fun. It's a bit of fun. Let's be honest. It's a bit of fun.
It is. But it's not just about belief as well. It's a cultural story that kind of connects past to present. The same way as you sort of mentioned, Robin Hood kind of connects us past to present. We're not sure if he was real. We're not sure if he's, representative of a group of people or something. But it's a nice story that connects us to the past. Same with Nessie, and it mixes all this kind of Celtic myth, modern media, and human imagination. But I think the most important thing is it lets us ask the question, what if? What if? And, people spend a lot of time looking for cryptids, these animals that they can't prove exist, and they're looking constantly for proof. Bigfoot, Yeti, Sasquatch, Chupacabra, things like this across the world. I find it fascinating. But I think the idea of Nessie is more exciting because it could be an actual dinosaur.
Yeah, that would be incredible.
That's the thing.
But if Nessie gets upset and we find out that Nessie is a kind of a man-eating creature, then maybe we wish we hadn't believed in such a thing.
That could always be the
escapes the lock and comes onto land and starts eating people, like a sort of Godzilla type. That would be awful, wouldn't it?
It would, and I think that expression there is "be careful what you wish for."
Yes,
because you always got to be careful. People always wish these sort of things and things like this. But yeah, no, I think Nessie is my idea of Nessie is she's quite a chilled monster, just quite relaxing, getting on with her own life, just enjoying herself, and every now and then seeing people with cameras and things like this, and goes, "Aha, gonna hide." So she's always elusive, always lurking. And I would like to know, I would like to think she's real, and long may the story of Ness continue.
Absolutely.
Because I think it's a wonderful story. If you do want to support this podcast, you can do that by buying us a cup of tea. There is a link down below in the description. But for me today, I just want to say thank you very much, Rob, for joining me today and having this chat with me about Loch Ness, Nessie. And everyone, thank you for listening to us.
Yeah, and I recommend you, Roy, and everybody else should take a visit up to the Highlands of Scotland and go and visit Loch Ness and see if you can spot Nessie out there.
I might just do that. I might have to. It might be my next big trip. Thank you very much for joining me. I'll see you in the next podcast.
Cheers, Roy. Bye, everyone.
Bye.